All right, what's up, everybody? Back with another lecture. Um, for those that don't know me, um, come with a little bit of esoteric knowledge today. You can call me Jordan L. Guillory. Um, my credentials: I'm an adept Brahmin who has completed more than one level of path working, more than one path, if you will, the path of the Brahmin, the path of the shaman. Um, a depth level of knowledge, you can say, that expands more than one horizon, from Egyptian lore to anything you could think of. Um, on a scientific level, today I'm coming with the esoteric rites, which is just some basic foundation to alchemical transformation. Okay? Um, this will be volume 1 under the Black Esoteric Science Dominion, which is my new group, if you will. This is just the beginning of it. I'm doing lectures just to start it off. And I got an idea to do a lecture, and I got some notes here. And so let's get to it. We're just going to talk about a couple of basics. This is back to the basics, because now, at this time right now, I see it's a little bit more clarity that needs to be shared. Things need to be purified for us to move forward. And so that's what I'm here to do. Let me get some of my notes here. Okay, so esoteric, for those that don't know, when you look it up in the dictionary, it represents an amount of knowledge that is relating to a small group of people. Esoteric, ESO, exoteric is relating to a larger amount of people. These are just two polarities of knowledge for two different groups of people, meaning a certain level of people will represent an embodiment of knowledge that is for the masses. That will be exoteric work. That's the work I do not do. That's the work that I come from, which isn't really a work. It's more so a belief system. I don't work with beliefs. I work with facts. I work with science, and that science is alchemy. Excuse me. That science is alchemy. And so, point blank, esoteric, meaning relating to a small group of people or to oneself. This is knowledge that you can apply to oneself for self-understanding. When I did a certain amount of path working, the ancestors let me know every piece of knowledge that you discern yourself with, to a certain degree, it be conscious or unconscious or subconscious, excuse me, you're going to apply it to yourself. It's not about applying it to anybody else unless you're helping someone. And it's not about applying it to the world unless you're doing some form of balance or a path of prosperity and wisdom, which is what the earth is about. If you don't know, just to break that down real fast, if you take the H off the end of earth and put it on the front of the word, you get the word heart, which is what a lot of us are needing to understand at this moment. The heart within the chakra system is the middle point. It is actually where you get to do a little bit more veneration. As you know, everybody has a heart. You know what I mean? Everybody has a heart. Therefore, everybody is given these 7 solar chakras in order for them to seek and find in their life, within their path on earth, which is nothing more than the school of the heart and wisdom, the things that they need to survive, the things that they need to find more vitality, the things that they need to bring clarity, the things that they need to prosper. And that's what the heart is about. The heart is about prosperity. Prosperity is tied to the heart chakra. Let's just get that out of the way, because we're going to be explaining some things within the rules of the heart chakra, which can be broken down in many phases, in many different ways. There's attributes of the heart. There's Kundalini energy for the heart, which is a certain type of a meditation. Then there's regular meditation. There's plant magic, which is the nature of the earth, which is why I say earth is the place of prosperity. So that means the natural essence of yourself is to prosper. That's what you're here for. This knowledge is the highest form of prosperity. Reason being is because with this knowledge, you can seek and find anything that you need in order for you to satisfy your reason of existence, which is sometimes the biggest question for us here. What is our reason of being? Your reason of being is to seek wisdom and prosperity. Not only that, but those tools being something that you use in order for you to find shelter within your existence, meaning finding the reason behind why you're here. Okay? I'm sure through the mirror you can see the deities on the wall and the ancestors. That's another form of prosperity. Okay? So the first thing I want to talk about is the law of attraction, cause and effect, and the 7 laws of Tehuti, 7 laws of the universe. These 7 laws, well, for one, when I first started really getting hardcore with knowledge, Tehuti was my chief deity. He was the first deity I channeled. I got a buddy named Troy. He was with me when I was in Houston. I channeled the god Tehuti. Basically, he was a venerator of the solar plexus. And the sun is a form of veneration. So whenever you're speaking about light works or light magic, light workers, anything of that sort, you're talking about the solar plexus, and you're talking about the polarity of light. But you're talking about the solar plexus and the heart chakra. Expression of the sun, meaning one who comes to bring light to darkness, or make light from darkness, excuse me. So anyway, the law of attraction, of course, that's self-explanatory. What you see is what you get. What you believe in, you receive. And what I find in life while on my path is people are wondering the reason why their life is working a certain type of way, why they're having certain types of problems. And when you really get down to it, you're not doing anything but relying on something else to be the answer to your problem, which leaves you with this sense of doubt, this sense of emptiness, this this area where if you were comparing yourself to somebody else and you see that their life is looking as if it's going better, what you're really understanding is you don't have a certain amount of understanding in order for you to manifest the prosperity that you're seeing, which is the effect of your understanding. By you knowing more, you're able to do more. Cause and effect. That is a law under the cause and effect. So personally, with this knowledge, what I seek when you're talking about what do you want to attract to yourself, you want to attract things of purity if you want somewhere to start. Things of purity, such as, let's say I was doing meditation, you would clear your mind. You would focus on something either with no value or something that you're seeking with some value. So if I was seeking knowledge, which we use sigils a lot, I use sigils a whole lot. I've done a whole bunch of work with Enoch. I got, I'll show you later, sigils up here with just different meanings behind them, whatever you need done. When you get to a certain type of level, if you scry into the sigils with your third eye, if you put these sigils around you in places where they belong and just do your work, just do what you do. If you stay at home a lot, if you're in the car a lot, there's sigils you can put in your car for safe travels. There's sigils you could put in your home, in your office to raise the momentum in order for you to get a little bit more engulfed in your work. But that's another expression of cause and effect, law of attraction. Once you understand that this knowledge works for you, then you understand that there's only more opportunities for you. You wouldn't learn more so you can box yourself in. That doesn't make sense, right? So one must say, seek and ye shall find is a true statement. It's a true statement because for one to seek something, he is only placing that thought in the back of his mind in order for him to manifest, in which his energy is already put into. So seeking ye shall find is a true statement. Moving on. As above, so below, which is, I call it the fraction. As above, so below, as within, so without. It's similar meanings because what we're working around is your energy. There's nothing that exists but your energy. In your world, you should be focused on yourself. It's not about looking at what's going on TV, on the news. That shit don't give you nothing. You know what I'm saying? It would actually guide you a little bit more if they would put shit up about education at least. At least it'll be a neutral plateau. But ultimately, it's not about looking at television for any guidance. It's not about going to college for any. They don't teach this type of knowledge in college. You find so many teachers within the conscious, the conscious folk in your area that does this work, or on YouTube if you find them. But as above, so below is a correspondence. As within, so without is a correspondence. So that means the energy that you hold within yourself, meaning you reflect that same energy outwardly into your reality, or into whatever you would call your prosperity. So So just like you said, you could put a thought in the back of your mind and manifest it within this real world. That holds a certain amount of energy based upon the significance of it. Once you have a certain amount of knowledge under your belt, you're able to amplify or bring more clarity to the reason why you need certain things, because your understanding is there. So since your understanding is intact, your energy is a little bit more clear, meaning you don't have to dabble in having conversations with so many people in order to seek the wisdom that you need in order for you to know who you are. As your energy matures, you reflect likewise energy out. So if you never had friends and you might have meditated one night on having friends, or you might have said some shit like, I need some friends. If that energy exists within you, you have a clear understanding of yourself. When the time presents itself, you will understand when friends are coming to you. As above, so below is the expression of your higher and your lower self. They say, as it is in heaven, so shall it be on earth, is the true statement. Meaning, if you have this knowledge within your vessel of your higher self, your lower self will never be constrained. So we're really thinking about problem solving nowadays. And for the utmost part, what I see, if people really had the knowledge or the will to just focus on themselves and get the knowledge that they truly deserve, instead of chasing the dollar, which is a low form of energy, or really it doesn't exist, it only is the energy you put into it, which is really what you plan to do with the money, which is what you're putting your energy into it. I'm not getting $1 million just to say I got it. I'm getting $1 million so I can do this with a certain amount of it. I do this with a certain, so my vision develops as I begin to see prosperity. I'm given more room to do a little bit more for myself. So the action behind the reason why I have this prosperity is what's really working for me, where my energy can go after a certain amount of myself is fulfilled. So as above, so below. Problem solving context. How can I put this? Your higher self and your lower self are two different natures. Your lower self will be an expression of your nature, which will be connected to your vessel. Your higher self will be an expression of spirit. This is only a linear expression, meaning high, like meaning high as an expression of your spirit as a form of energy is what is most important here. It bears the most fruit. So if you solve the problem that lies within the spirit, you have no more problems, because from your spirit all things become. So that's as above, so below. As within, so without. What we told you, the energy that lies within you reflects out into your reality. And those are all key facts whenever you're dealing with alchemical change, for the simple fact, if you're needing to know why you might feel a certain type of way, and you have to actually deal with yourself, which is what everybody should be doing. You might say, I might be putting this off for too long, or I might be holding back on something, and I'm thinking about it too much, and I'm just constraining it instead of just letting it go. In gnosis, sometimes in order for you to get a different effect, you got to do different things. You're not going to see a change by doing the same thing over and over again. That's a cycle. That's what you call psychotic, meaning doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different effect. However, things may change, but the change that you truly want to see comes in the change in your action. Okay? That's just a little quick tip. And for one, it don't take a million ideas for you to come to an understanding with yourself. Once you understand that all of this knowledge is knowledge of oneself, all you have to do is apply it to yourself. All of these things have some form of inner understanding with one another. You can take one law from the Law of Tehuti and may be able to solve all your problems. You might be able to take cause and effect and solve all your problems. You might be able to take as above, so below, and solve all your problems. But the true discernment is not to have any limitations, because you always have more opportunities, meaning you always need more knowledge. And knowledge is endless. Knowledge is a 360, meaning it's a full circle. Meaning there's levels within knowledge. Okay. Moving on. The law of polarity, which I'm sure a lot of people can look and you can see the law of polarity through history. You could just easily say white and black people are polarity opposing one another, not against one another in the fashion that you've seen that our ancestors were a part of, but we're polar opposite people. One has melanin and a different birthright. Black people are born with a birthright within their melanin to be able to control a certain amount of things that white people may not be able to do. But that doesn't make them better than you. That doesn't make white people better than black people. That doesn't make them more prettier. It only makes it what it is. Now, the law of polarity, scientific expression, just quickly, is just saying light and dark. Within magic, you deal with a lot of light and dark expressions. When you're on the mundane level, or when you're first starting, when I first started, when I was a kid and I didn't have this knowledge, after I got into the knowledge, I found out we used to do bad things to get closer to our subconscious mind. And that kind of made more sense to me as I got into actually thinking about it. Because as a kid, you always were afraid of the dark, no matter how good you are, no matter how, none of that shit matters. When you're in the dark, your mind might just see a clown or some shit for no reason. It's not because you called that clown into the room. The fact is, darkness within its nature for yourself, that's the meaning. You think bad because of your understanding at a certain age. So for you to be afraid of the dark is natural, one would say. It's just like day and night are polarities. Just indifferent, not better than one another. But as I understood and I actually got to think about this thing, I was like, wow, that makes sense. You know, I used to do bad things to get to my subconscious mind, because I start to understand a little bit more about the reason why I do shit. Like, why do you do the things that you do? You know, sometimes we don't even know. But this polarity expression is not something that you take face value. It's not actually telling you something scary or something's good. It's not about good or bad. The expression within the realm of knowledge is darkness is you before your awareness of something is brought to life. The light is once your awareness has reached the stopping point where you can understand the reason of something, that is the light. So you're going from point A to point B, so to speak, in life, and you might not be as educated, and the whole thing is, well, you know, trying to figure something out about yourself. Well, when you finally figure out what it is, that is the light. If you have the answer to the question, that's the light. When you're searching and trying to figure out what's going on, that's the darkness. You turn the lights off, you can't see shit. You probably bust your ass, fall over some shit. You turn the light on, see the things around you. Now, when you're talking about polarity and light and darkness, you're not talking about this light. You're talking about your actual awareness. There's two forms of awareness. There's dark light and there's white light. Okay, these are just two different polarities, two different works. You can also say the feminine is an expression of the polarity of darkness. The male is a masculine figure, so he's a positive figure by nature, only by nature. Spirit, its expression of those two polarity within works. For a black person might be, well, your melanin is a form of dark light, which is carbon, which is where you get this variation of 666, which is nothing more than carbon. You use your melanin naturally as a person. I actually did Ojas or Ogdogs for a long time and channeling within my melanin. Certain types of things wouldn't come back to me. Like a white person wouldn't be able to have these type of channels just based upon their melanin not being, let's say, used at this type of level. There's certain limitations. Same way there's limitations for a person that's black that doesn't use that melanin. So it's not about one being better or worse. Once again, you got to get out of that thought, that mind frame. The idea here is to use both polarities to understand what the fuck you're trying to understand. For me, I had this picture of my grandfather holding me and my cousin for the longest. And I hung this picture up in my room. It's not up here now. put it on my Facebook. I put it everywhere. So for my subconscious mind, I would get to that place where I understand what the message was. They say a picture says 1,000 words. That's me in the darkness. I'm doing my work, but at the same time, I still look at this picture and I'm trying to figure out, well, what it is that he was doing to let me know something. And he finally gave it to me. One day he said, well, I was trying to figure out which one of, because my mother and her sister had a son at the same time. He was saying, I was trying to figure out which one of you were going to actually pick up the shit that we never did. Like he was saying that for the longest. All of your uncles and all of that, all of your family wasn't shit because of all of the things that they skipped over in life. And maybe it wasn't right for that time period, of course. Certain variations within time is what brought change. But lo and behold, he was just saying, I was trying to figure out which one of my grandsons before I die was going to walk the path of knowledge. And in this picture, he was like, well, I was playing upon our natural essence. He told me that children are closer to the other side. Children are closer to the realm of the ancestors. That's why you, as a kid, some people said they see spirits. Or, you know, as they get older and understand what that type of thing is, see spirits. Another thing is, just to break that down quickly, because I got another point. He was trying to figure out who was going to walk the path of knowledge, and it was myself. Lo and behold, I'm here doing the lecture now. So what he gave to me with that picture is so many things that I probably wouldn't even, I would waste too much time breaking it down in this lecture. Maybe another lecture. But a picture says 1,000 words. So if you have any baby pictures, you, when you're in the sense of who you are as a baby, is you when your melanin is running free. Reason being is because you don't have any worries. As a kid, before you even running around, somebody else is taking care of you. You're subjective to somebody else, but you don't even know wrong or right. You don't even have any glimpse of what is. You know what I'm saying? So your being is in charge. It's if you get into it, it's really deep. Like you got to really stop and take a step back and think about when you were a kid and you had no words. There's real good potential energy in that realm. Because a lot of times you hear motherfuckers saying shit like, I got so much to do. I got to go here. I got to go there. And I'm always busy. And I ain't never got time for this. And I ain't never got time for that. You put your childhood picture by your bed and go to sleep. Light a candle. Let's just say whatever color you had on in that picture, light the candle. And I bet you go to sleep and you wake up, shit will start changing for you. And my grandfather, when he broke that down to me, it made sense. It made sense. Something in me just clicked and said, that's why I'm doing that. That's why I look like this. Because of course I didn't know, so it was his wisdom that was in control and my essence that was living. You know what I'm saying? Because of course I'm a child, I don't know anything. So you're actually at at his will, is what he's saying. So if you have a childhood picture, just put it somewhere, your favorite childhood picture, anywhere in your room, light the candle, whatever color you had on. That's a real powerful ritual. It'll bring forth some childhood energy into your life. It might actually bring you closer to the things that truly matter most. All right, moving on. Let's pull up another law of Tehuti. Law of rhythm, law of polarity, law of vibration. Okay, to me, vibration and rhythm are one and the same. Vibration and rhythm are one and the same. They both have tides. They both have highs. They both have lows. They both never rest. So rhythm, its example is the pendulum swing. For vibration, of course, you have natural vibration. You know what I'm saying? Natural vibration. Me slamming this cup on the desk, that's a certain vibration. My chakras is a vibration. Every level of your chakras, there's 7 chakras. Just like 7 planets, 7 chakras. All have different vibrations. We told you the heart is earth. That's in the form of your path. That's a life path. Meaning your whole life you're on earth. Your whole life you're seeking prosperity and wisdom. That's a life path. That path may have many vibrations as far as it goes that vary within your 7 chakras. But the heart chakra on its own, it has a certain level of vibration, a certain way you can gauge its vibration. If you ever get into Kundalini energy or meditation, I suggest you meditate or just play some music, within your house. Start your day off a different way. If you're driving, I used to drive and smoke weed around. I'm not telling you to smoke weed and drive in your car. It's illegal. But what I am saying is there's vibrations that you haven't witnessed yet, which could also change your life. People use music to heal, You ever heard James Brown, that fucking impeached the president, was around and still is around. That fucking drum break. People don't forget vibrations. We're the vibration people. So to me, that's the reason why vibration and rhythm are one and the same. For some reason, I see them the same. Of course, vibration, you could say, is potential energy within matter. To me, the rhythm is more so, rhythm is, you could say, your highs and lows, the pendulum back and forth. So you would say you might have experienced high rhythm in the daytime by you doing a lot of shit. You might feel that same amount of energy, but in a different action in the nighttime by whatever you do in the nighttime. Some people I know are fucking insomniacs. I'm an insomniac. I can't even pick whether I am or not. But if I don't do a lot in the daytime, I might do a lot. It just depends on who you are. That's why this is knowledge of yourself. This is not knowledge of no Jordan. But rhythm is as rhythm is. It's almost self-explanatory. You just got to pay attention to it. That's the thing. We need to awaken these definitions. It's just as easy as just reading over it once a day, putting it on your wall, and actually having the time to understand the meaning for 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Take the time out. So moving on, because we could talk about those 7 laws all day. They're really just the basics that you use to get you your understanding whenever you go on the path, whenever you're breaking down different sciences. So I'm not going to act like these 7 laws are the be all end all. They're actually just the beginning. Hold on, I gotta give me something to drink. My throat is parched. Excuse me. All right. This shit just started happening. So those 7 laws, like I said, are kind of the basics, things that fundamentally you keep within your understanding for you to use as you go along your path of knowledge. They're useful, so get to know them. They're your way to seeing beyond this world and to see inner parts of yourself and to change, be proactive in your life. That's how you actually get to the point where you're able to manifest the things that you want, because you've already dealt with things that are small that you were subjective to. Then you become neutral, meaning you balance, and you become proactive to. 3-pillar rule, 3 pillars: knowledge, wisdom, understanding, subjection, neutrality, and proactivity, meaning you're no longer subjective to whatever it is you're subjective to. So let me get you some sigils. I do paradigms, I do sigils. If you don't, get you a book on sigils. I advise you to get, if you're doing light working or dark working, it doesn't really matter. Those things aren't, this is not about sectarianship. But for me, I always seen potential energy to be the key for me. That's all I'm gonna say. So for me to see the things, or for me to see proactivity in my life, it actually shows what I'm better at, what I need to fix. It shows how I can change things real quick, how you can balance things really quick. Like I said, there's no one more important than the other. Dark light and white light are one and the same. They're just indifferent as far as their duties, so to speak. But it depends on who you are. All right. But anyway, get some scripts, some word scripts, some like the Theban script, Star Runic alphabet. Get some of those. Get those. Get the Theban script from Theosophical Society. I do the scripts, paradigms, mantras, and sigils. All right. The reason I do that is because ancestors told me while I was doing these ojas for so long that this shit is important, because you know what the fuck you're doing, you know what you're calling upon, and you're programming your reality all at the same time. And the key about this Theban script is its lettering helps you go beyond this realm of 1,000 words. You know how you say a picture's worth 1,000 words? Well, these scripts go beyond 1,000 words. It's actually a way of programming to the subconscious through letters. And it really does the job. It's done the job for me. I'm sure it'll do the job for you. So I do sigils, paradigms, mantras, and I use the script. I'm gonna just show you a couple. I got plenty from different time periods. I didn't use them. I don't use them. I put them up. I save them for. I never know when, who, or what, who will need to see them or whatever. But I don't use certain things as much now because I've moved on to stuff like mathematics. And mathematics is just you reading your melanin. You're reading the melanin and giving your duty a number. And you're writing the number and you're writing the words down for the duty. And once that duty is fulfilled, or once you learn supreme mathematics, it's a certain way you write. It's a certain way you add and manifest that thing simultaneously. You have to know yourself in order for you to get to that level. It's just supreme mathematics. But real quick, I'm going to show you a paradigm. This paradigm is power, materialization, and transformation. 3-pillar rule, like I said. I'll show you here. You see power at the top, materialization and transformation. And you see I got my numbers up there. And infinity. And it's a paradigm. Now, a paradigm is nothing but polarities, depending on how many polarities you want to work with and what you're putting behind it is really the true determining factor. Because for me, I get the idea first, and then I go into my heart and figure out, well, what would best help me change my situation. And I've came through plenty of transformations that way. Plenty. For one, you read it from left to right. And for me, how I use it, I'll just say it like that. How I use it, this will be the highest factor. This will be the middle pillar. This will be the lower factor. It works for me as a form of my thought process. So let's say I needed power for power to get in to initiate my work. You know, initiation, operation, transformation is the 3 works that it lies under. Those 3 pillars, from highest to lowest: initiation, operation, transformation, according to this chart and how I wrote it. You do this, put this on your wall. You may need power for, you might need power for you to go to a different level, find the knowledge that works best for you. You know, you might use power for, you know, power for security of some sort. Materialization is as it is. For me, I use it for prosperity. Prosperity within knowledge. And of course, that prosperity within knowledge is operating, leads to the transformation of my lower self. And so it works with me through my day. You put it on your wall, and you go about your day. It's nothing super fancy. You just have to be in congruence with yourself. It's just like making up your bed every morning. You align yourself to a certain extent. If you're in school, just being on that same 8 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, making up your bed. You know to make up your bed. One morning you might forget to make up your bed and your day might be shitty and you wondering why. Well, instead of having to wonder about anything, you know what you're putting down on paper, you understand your sigils, and you know what your paradigm is. Point blank, period. Now, moving on, that was a paradigm. And you also can apply those 7 laws to it, like I was saying earlier. The energy within is without. It reflects. So you channeling the energy to put that down on paper with the intent, putting it on your wall, going into the paradigm yourself by doing your daily work, if you have daily work, understanding it as it hits your thought process, and being able to see how it's transforming you is just a form of as within, so without correspondence. This energy already lie within you. You just needed some form of materialization. Easy to understand. Just got to get into it. Okay, moving on. This is a sigil. This prosperity sigil. I got this from Enoch. Fresh out the Enoch cabinet. Prosperity sigil. It's something I channel from Enoch. This is not in anybody's book. Okay, so if you need to draw that and put it somewhere, then do that. I might just put this back on my wall. I got some other stuff on my wall right now. You're looking in the camera. It's not much. I had this full wall filled. This full wall was filled at one point with shit. Just because I was able to decipher and know what I'm doing. You can just go with the flow. It's so fun. For me, it's fun. The shit is fun. You know, on here I have as in heaven, so shall it be on earth. And there's a sigil in the middle. It says prosperity amulet. You can go in your car, put this under your seat. You can draw a small one, put it in your wallet. I got one in my wallet. And shit, I think I gotta go check my phone for a phone call today about a job. Just because that's what I had settled for. I need a certain amount of money. So anyway, yeah, you use that amulet. You copy it, you put it on a piece of paper, you put it in your car, put it in your backpack. I carried mine with me while I was in the interviews and shit, and they went well. It let me know what is going on with that person, if they're a good enough person to be around daily. You might go to a job and your goddamn manager not be worth shit. It's not really your fault, but that might be a reason why you lose your job. If you think about it, if that person isn't suitable to be around every day, if they have more bad energy and they're bringing it upon you, incoherently, you're the effect from their cause. You're subjective to them based upon your workplace. Keep yourself out of that position. Period. Keep yourself out of that position. No ifs, ands, or buts. All right. Let's show. I don't know. Let's show you this one. I use Law of Attraction on this one, and I took it down for a certain reason because I redrew it. This sigil you see here in the circle is a supreme love sigil. I got this from, I'm not going to disclose the name, but I channeled this sigil as well within the works of Enoch. And it's for supreme love. You see supreme love here, and you see the thieving script going across. And you see the sigil here to your right, which is a sigil for you to obtain love and will power. It's to help you move about your day with more momentum in those areas you might have been lacking in. You see Law of Attraction, that's the way I'm making it work. And you see Twin Soul here. That's for twin flames. That's for a supreme love system. So with this within life, if I also put this back on my wall and light a candle, I might write the script on the candle, or have somebody remember, put sigil on the candle, light the candle one night. See, and this is another thing. You want to make sure you have a sacred space where nobody else is. Because once you understand that you have intent behind energy, you understand that there's people that don't have intent behind their energy. So, the polar opposite. Motherfuckers might just come and say, fuck your candle. You know what I'm saying? Just don't give a shit. The expression is know yourself to the degree where your space is sacred and you won't have to need anybody to respect your shit. You'll be able to do what you do without anything interfering on it. You see what I'm saying? Without anybody interfering on it. So like I said, you putting this energy up here with the intent. There's some people that do things without an intent, just letting you know. Like I said, Law of Attraction, twin flames. This is so you can find a life mate. Somebody that might be on a similar path as you. You see what I'm saying? Somebody that might be doing a similar work as you. For you to draw that energy in, or for you to draw that person close, or for you to put that person on your path. I might not meet that person now. I might not meet that person later, say in a month or two. But the way you clarify it is you do this ritual once every month. You do it on the full moon. That's a feminine energy. If you're a woman, you could do that on a sunny day, the first of every month on a sunny day. And just keep that energy going and you'll see how things work for you. I understood I couldn't be around people for a certain reason. I understood I couldn't hang around people that wasn't like me because we just wouldn't work together. The energy, you know, certain people just not gonna understand the reason you are who you are. The same way there's people that you have to understand to sway from. There's a whole area of people that you might understand. People that might understand who you are, why you are who you are. And of course, you're not going for the people that don't understand you. So it does what it does. You just have to be true to it, to yourself. All right. So we got a sigil, a paradigm. Oh, the mantra. Okay. All right. This is the last one I'm gonna show y'all. I ain't showing y'all all my shit. This one's a little complicated. This one's a little complicated. This is attainment on 3 different scales. This embodies traversement of a certain type of debt. This involves traversement of a certain type of karma. This involves the advancement of 3 forms of prosperity. You see conscious prosperity, KHONS. Then you see it in Theban. Subconscious notation. You see financial wealth and sovereignty. And you see the mantra for that. And you see prosperity, attainment, and you see the Theban script. You see the prosperity financials here, and you see the Theban script and the mantra. So what's going on here is 3 forms of attainment. You're pretty much giving yourself room to breathe with this. It has to be you because it's only you, because you the motherfucker making it work. So for me, I put this up. I understood what I was doing it for, but I just took it all down. One is for prosperity on my path. One is for prosperity in finances. One's about wealth, which is just meaning your health and your wealth throughout life. 3 different forms. We broke it down with 3 different attainment sigils. And consciousness is your center of gravity, meaning it's the closest thing to you. It's the thing that you started off with. When you didn't have a dollar, you still had your consciousness. Remember that? So your path of self is something that never stop. You know what I'm saying? It'll never stop. So as that begins to form, you begin to understand different forms of knowledge, different forms of yourself that creates different forms of prosperity, different forms of wealth, different forms of well-being, different ways to inhibit well-being. So lo and behold, I use this with a deity. And the mantra, put it on my wall, light a candle. And there it goes. Now, for me, I had to learn a certain amount of things, and I had a lot of highs and lows. And it's the reason why I'm so swift with being able to change my paradigms and things, because I had to understand the path working in my family. My immediate family, I had to understand the path working of them, how they thought of me as an energy. The fact that they don't do esoteric work is an energy. The fact that how they have lived their lives is an energy. The fact that they expect a certain amount of you to be on a certain level is an energy. Whether they pay that energy no mind is an energy. So the thing is, stay away from that shit because it's too much to have to deal with. I had to learn that. It's not about you hating them or anything else. It's just you must understand the significance of the things that you're leading into existence. The importance of knowing who you are and being in the room with somebody that might look at you and say you don't know who you are, meaning they don't know you that deep. You know what I'm saying? I spent hours with myself. I spent hours and days and months with no friends, nobody, just me and myself and my work. So nobody could actually stop and tell me I don't know myself. They can help me in ways to bring me to a higher level of light, but they could never tell me I don't know myself. You understand? Because it's so much hours that you put in with yourself that helps you get to a level that represents your breakthroughs. And your breakthroughs are the only things you're working for when you're done with just your basis of knowledge. Your breakthroughs are what help you gauge your level of understanding for yourself. You see what I'm saying? So it's no longer even about anybody outside of you. You just start to understand by you separating yourself from other people that as soon as you hit this person to have a conversation, I know exactly where you are with things. And I either do need to talk to you or we need to cut communications. You see what I'm saying? It'll explain itself. Because you're two different people, the conversation is as it is. You see, there's no way for you to front nobody or for you to get over on anybody in that sense. You know what I'm saying? Because knowledge is as knowledge does, wisdom is as wisdom does. These things are natural expressions of yourself. And if you come in congruence with somebody, automatically you're going to know what they're about. It's not even about you placing that on somebody. You're not even in that type of a thing. It's not about you being offensive. Just the fact that you know yourself is a defense. You see what I'm saying? And so many people don't understand the knowledge just yet, meaning the conversation might not go in a sense of you being able to get the full potential that you see out of it because of the way somebody else sees you. So you just got to do and be who you are and understand the communication that you're having, understand the conversation that you're having, understand the level, engage the level of who you're speaking to and what you're speaking to. You understand? Because deities are nothing more than you amplifying your own awareness with a certain level of expression. It's nothing but an attribute of a certain understanding. And so that's how you understand, you know, your level of clarity to be able to converse with something that doesn't truly exist within the physical world or never existed within the physical. Have only been able to bring effects into the physical world. So that's true wisdom. That's true wisdom. For you not to have to say anything and know what somebody is about, that's true protection as well. Because you no longer have to waste your energy on things that aren't conducive to you. You're automatically omitted from that. All right. Moving on. And I don't know, I might have to cut this short because my fucking throat is hurting. So let's talk about a path real quick. And I don't want you to judge me on this. I want you to go and do your own research. These paths, when I did these ojas, which were a simple, not they weren't simple, but they were a certain level of petition spells, petition channels, meaning every night after my day, I look forward to doing my ritual. It's my formula. As a Brahmin, you get your own fucking formula. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how you get to yourself. Don't let nobody steer you wrong. Everybody's formula works to a certain degree, but the more energy you spend on yourself, developing your formula, the more result you'll see, the more change you'll see for yourself. So take the understanding as a guideline and do to yourself what's most needed with your own inspiration. So the path of Brahma, okay? The path of Brahma. I understood the path of Brahma to be simple as it is. And trust me, I've been over 4 paths, 4 major breakthroughs at the least. I'm not going to name them all. I'm just going to go to Wikipedia and I'm going to read you a little bit about the overall text. Brahma is the Hindu god or deva of creation. However, in most texts, his creative activity depends on the presence and power of a higher god. Okay? So here it says Brahma is the god of creation, which is nothing more than white light. You being able to manifest something is your creation. You being here is a form of creation. So if you understand who you are, you understand the reason why you're a god. Yourself. That is what a god is: generator, operator, and transformer, not destroyer, transformer. Because you're not destroying old habits, you're transforming yourself from it or to a higher stage, let's just say. Then you're generating, operating again. So what's the difference? So Brahma is, for me, is just me understanding to master my own reality. To master my own reality is a certain amount of tools, and there's a certain amount of understanding one needs to know how to work one's reality. Within my path of Brahma, there were certain formulas he showed me. There were certain genetic codes that I understood, that I was ushered into in order for me to go back and continue. Everybody is a Brahmin, whether you know it or not. Everybody might say Bob Marley is a Brahmin, just for the simple fact everybody know Bob Marley. The expression is being able to make something from nothing, meaning you don't really have anything but your energy when you get down to it. Because what you're doing is you're bending yourself to get so many different types of things done, to the point where everything is a fucking science. And that's how you understand yourself. You understand yourself more, because once everything is a science to you, now you have entered the true body of Brahman. But the science behind the body of Brahman is the soul anatomy. So there's I believe it's 4 bodies. It's 4 bodies, 4 auras, 7 planes. For me, I found, because I used to listen to a lot of rap music, a lot of hip hop, I found Capital Steve. Like, he didn't, you know what I'm saying? We didn't really converse, but what it is that we dealt with were one and the same. So he's basically saying, whatever you need, I'm with you. You know what I'm saying? You need me, listen to my music. It's my notation within time. Um, to a Brahmin, there's 4 elements within your body. And you know, Kabbalists had this whole 47 effect with the swastika, which is Hindu, which is Brahman. Water, which is the heart. Well, let's start. Let's go in order. Earth, which is the body, physical body. And these concepts change, so every path is different for me. The physical body, which is earth. There's the heart. There's your mental. There's your soul. And those 4 things play key roles for what it is that your path is able to exist within. You're able to find different things within those paths, within those parts of yourself. You're fulfilling all 4 bodies of yourself along the path, but you're using these 4 elements. Like I smoke, you know what I'm saying? That's the throat chakra. And the sacral chakra, that's Buddha, that's cleansing the belly, that's the matrix, cleansing the matrix. That's sexual vitality. Depends on how you smoke. You have to know the actual expression. But fire, water, air, and earth. And what you're doing is you're going using these 4 elements in the 7 planes of existence, which lies as a form of reality to your 7 chakras. 7 planes, 7 chakras, you get the idea. Let me go and get the names of these real fast. There's 7 planes, 4 elements. Seven planes, 4 elements. There's the physical plane, there's the etheric plane, there's the astral plane, there's the emotional plane, there's the mental plane, there's the psychic plane, and there's the divine plane. For me, like I had to dabble into every single one of these planes to the point where they were secondhand. And while I use some more than others, there's a reason behind that. You see what I'm saying? I might not be able to do a certain type of work in my area with 3 other people around me that are Christians with their minds working at the same time. You got to understand that. Everything is as it is. So the amount of work that I take advantage of at this moment, when I move to the next step, having no limitations and nobody in my area, only goes to show how much more opportunity there is. It's not about you looking at what is negative. It's about you looking at the potential energy and stuff. That's this whole thing about Brahma. Looking at the sense of you being able to create more opportunities and more prosperity for yourself. More opportunities meaning more breakthroughs you can have. You need to have that thought process in hand, because then you won't have to focus so much on what you don't know. You focus on the things that you do know, and you use them to the advantage of your own self, because there's a reason why you remember certain stuff. You see what I'm saying? Certain things resonate with you. You know what I'm saying? You are a personal person. You are of a certain type. You know what I'm saying? Even though we don't use that on a circuit, but you are of a certain type of person. You see what I'm saying? There's certain things that dwell within you that might not dwell within me as a form of my primary self. I might not focus on a certain thing as much as somebody else does. There's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. What you are doing within these 7 planes is finding yourself, finding breakthroughs, finding knowledge, doing work, using your works in order for you to figure out what the heck you're doing here. You know what I'm saying? I haven't really had a thing where I had to go against so many problems, but I've always had a thing where it was a feeling that I had, and I still can't get to the bottom of this feeling. It's a certain moody feeling, and it'll just keep coming back, and I'll be mad as hell when it's gone. So I'm still working on trying to figure out little nuances like that. So it's things like that that really keeps me going. When it comes back, it's like, yeah, it's here again. I might need to do this. I might can do that to bring it amplified here. I might light a candle, a blue candle, or light a green candle. Boom, sets the mood. Turn on some music of so-and-so, Phyllis Hyman. You know what I'm saying? And that might do it for making that feeling stretch. That might be what is meant for you at that moment. You might be needing to understand how to stretch the momentum of that feeling at this moment in order for you to even be able to resonate within it. And it might lead you here to saying, well, you have a realization, and the realization is within your dreams is something about some type of love or some type of theme that's going to change in your life. The thing is all about understanding yourself, because it's nothing else but you. You know what I'm saying? It's all attributes of yourself. Like I said, I look for this emotional energy. Some days I might get it, some days I won't. But when it always comes back to me, you know what I'm saying? It always comes back to me as a form of venerating how I feel, inspiring me. You know what I'm saying? And it's something that I hold it with a certain attribute to my heart. You know what I'm saying? And it's something that makes that's something that is able to make that energy personal to me. You know what I'm saying? So whenever I have that feeling, I can be able to know, I can visualize, I can understand automatically what I'm feeling. So that's the reason why this is key. The body of Brahma is everything about creation and figuring out the anatomy of your soul. Within 7 planes and 4 elements, and you're looking for breakthroughs and you're figuring out how to have more opportunities. Your path is know yourself. It's always going to be the same because you're still working with knowledge. You're just venerating yourself by using your soul. All right, it's a simple expression. You just got to get into it. You got to get into it. You got to get into it. All right. I don't really work with the tree of life. I'm not going to even lie. I don't work with the tree of life. But what I do work with is I do work with the body of Brahmin. I did the attribute of the Sufis, which I have to go back to. I've done the Great White Brotherhood, which is Sirius B&A, which is your soul. I've done the reality of some of the oldest realities that's known to our people. But for me to just say that don't mean nothing. I would have to give you a lecture on that. I would have to be able to go back into that energy. Like I say, I'm in a transition personally. So I'm getting ready to give myself more room so I can blossom a little bit more. But I know this knowledge is what it was that I was looking for the simple fact I came back to that same picture with my grandfather and I looked at it and I said, that's what he was showing me. I'm doing it now. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what he was trying to say. What is it that you are here to do? What is it that you are here to do within self-knowledge? And to be plain and simple, it's all about breakthroughs and it's alchemical transformation. You just have to understand your physical body, the breakthroughs of that, these simple understandings, which is like the 7 laws of Tehuti. You have to actually take this to your personal because it becomes you. You know what I'm saying? Consciousness is you already. It's the only thing that truly exists. Kuan Yin told me, whenever you needed to go and find an ancestor and figure out what their life is like, call on me. She said, I'll take you through the ley lines. She said, whenever you see a dragon, remember about the ley lines. Those lines are nothing more than that brick road of whoever you feel like you might resonate with best. And the dragon, I know this is a little different. If you ever watch Dragon Ball Z, there's this dragon when Goku dies. He's walking this freaking dragon for however many miles to the point where he fall off the dragon and land in some other world. And this world is full of just stupid people, not stupid as in retarded, but stupid as in ignorant. And there's the tree of knowledge right there. He's on this dragon and he falls into this world. And this tree is it bears fruit. So of course it's the tree of knowledge. And these two they're like supposed to be the biggest ogres in that world. And so they're pretty much just telling him, don't eat that fruit. Don't eat that fruit. As long as we've been here, we haven't eaten that fruit. And Goku trying to figure out how the heck to get back on the dragon. Like he's trying to get back to the path of what he started off to do. You know what I'm saying? And so what he set off for. So these ogres is trying to test him, trying to call him below him, and all of this and that. And finally, he tricks him, and he takes the fruit and he runs, and he finally gets it out of him how to how to get back on the dragon. So he gets to the end of this walkway, and he tells the guys thank you, and he has his fruit in his hand. And what he does, he eats this fruit, and he walks up that ladder, and he gets back on the dragon. What that's truly saying is knowledge, you know what I'm saying? You see the tides and the variations, but knowledge is the true operator of your reality. It separates you from naturally to yourself. You don't have to say, you know what I'm saying, things that you don't want to be around. You have to make it personal by you being able to put so many hours in, or get into it with who you are by venerating yourself. You venerating yourself is you showing yourself compassion. So you're really leaving more room for you to do a little bit more by putting things that you used to call important below you. So you're transforming from your day-to-day life, or whatever you used to call, you know, McDonald's might have been your biggest problem. You just eating at McDonald's every day might have been your past thing. You're transforming from it. So now you're getting groceries every day. You know what I'm saying? You're getting groceries every week or whatever. And then you transform from that, and you're buying steaks, and it's not even about the freaking groceries no more. You're worrying about what the freak when's the next freaking Forbidden Kingdom movies coming out or something like that. So it's about you knowing yourself ultimately. That's what really matters. That's what truly matters. So I'm gonna cut this lecture short. I'm gonna send it to you guys. I want y'all to let me know what you think. You know, drop your comment or whatever. Don't get stupid, because I don't care too much for that. But I'm gonna come back with another volume, and we want to continue where I left off at. Like I said, I'm in transition, so I'm going to a different space, which will be my own, in order for me to be able to. And I got a website for you guys, so I can do a little bit more work. I've done a certain amount of work, but it's like now that sits below me, and I can go back to it. But if I'm not putting in hours upon hours and days upon days, I don't want to do it. Like I'll just go to sleep, take sleeping pills, and go and dream or something. Like I'd rather not go into my work and feel like I'm only gonna be able to put in 4 hours. You know what I'm saying? 4 hours a day is not enough. I want to know that I have a whole month, 2 months, 3 months. You know what I'm saying? I want to know that I have all this time to do what I want to do, so I can actually be myself and actually not have to conform to anybody around me. So I'm getting the low shit out of the way so I can handle the higher most shit that I feel is important. And trust me, I love to do this. This has become my life. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in the church. You know what I'm saying? Right off the bat, I understood that it wasn't where I wanted to be, and I went through that with my parents, and we took it to levels where I had to leave and stuff, just things that, you know, things that you go through in order to show that this is what you truly want to do. You know what I'm saying? You ever want to know the reason behind it, do something different, and you'll figure out what is and what isn't. Trust me, church isn't for me. If it's for you, then go for it. But this knowledge is where I truly can breathe. This knowledge is where I truly can see myself resonate. You see what I'm saying? I'm starting a Kickstarter campaign for 2 businesses, which is one of the reasons why I'm moving. It's so I can document all of this work within the book company, and the other side of the business is for people like us that's like, I thought college would be a best bet. Wrong. Because of the money, of course. You graduating student loans and things of that nature. We'll show you how to get rid of all your debt, put some more money in your pocket. Um, besides that, credit and things of that nature. You have debts, bills that just sit around and might multiply. If you're not using this to satisfy that, there's a system that we can work from in order for us to remove that stigma from our people, because we always get this poverty thing like it's cool, and it's not cool. And it's not going to happen anymore as long as I feel this type of way about it, because it's been blocking my prosperity to a certain degree. I can't go and get anything because I don't have any credit. So this Kickstarter campaign, I'm gonna put in the link. Just go there, read it. I got business plans. I got a whole page of stuff that you can look at. Just go there, read it. The link will be below. It'll be in the description. Just read it. Get back with me. I'm gonna post this in certain places. Go and read it. Check it out. Donate if you will. Donate if you don't. It don't matter. I appreciate anybody that does. Let me know what you think. If you have any ideas or any rituals, you can just drop them below. Anything. I converse with people often, people that are like-minded, if you will. But we're going to come back with another lecture, of course. And I appreciate you guys taking out y'all's time to listen to some of the things that I have to say. Sorry for the rough start, but sometimes the best things start off that way, you know what I mean? It'll get better over time. I'm for sure of that. So this is me signing off. I just want to say peace.